I'm keen to talk about Brexit, clearly a big issue in the last general election. Now, in 2019, you tweeted this in response to an attack on the activist and columnist Owen Jones. You said, "Welcome to Brexit Britain. To be frank, I've had enough of this reactionary, right-wing and racist endeavour. We need to end it now."
Yeah.
Do you think Brexit is a racist endeavour?
I think part of the Brexit campaign and part of the undertone of Brexit from some politicians, Nigel Farage and others, had racism at its core, at its heart. They used it as a mechanism to divide our communities, to divide our country. And one of the things about
do you think Brexit is a racist endeavour, which is what you say here?
But if you think about moving away, there's a potential for Brexit, and I think we've seen it. You know, how many people of colour, how many black people on the day after the referendum woke up with a sense of dread because of what had happened? Ultimately, our country had chosen to listen to Boris Johnson, someone who has a track record of racist commentary, of giving credence to racism, to Nigel Farage, someone who stood in front of a poster which was overtly racist. This was a government that had the Windrush scandal, that had go-home vans. So I think for anyone to say that there was not an element of racism in the Brexit project as an endeavour, you're basically wrong. And I think you can see that. And I think ask the millions of black people in this country who understood what much of the dog whistle politics and tone was on this issue, then I think you understand that was completely. Now, that doesn't mean that every single person that voted for Brexit is a racist. Some of my family voted for Brexit. But I think that there were drivers within that campaign which certainly were very unsavoury and which I would call racist.
I spent yesterday in Crewe and Nantwich with the former MP Laura Smith, who lost her seat at the election, and she said that Brexit was a huge issue in that area, a Leave voting area, and a big reason why Labour lost that seat. Do you think comments like yours are part of the problem? No,
because I think unless you're honest and truthful about what Brexit was about, there are lots of reasons. Take back control meant many different things to people. For some people, it was about taking back control of the immigration system. For some people, it was about taking back control of their lives, taking back control of allowing us to spend more money on the NHS, whatever the reason was that they believed it. But my comments, and I think now the future of the Labour Party is up and at stake. I think one of the key things for myself and many others in the party is that we don't want to see our party triangulate on the issue of racism. What the challenge now is for our country is, what kind of country do we want to be? Do we want to be an inward-looking, closed-minded, xenophobic country? Or do we want to be an outward-looking, tolerant and open country? And do you know what? If people have racist views, it's the job of the Labour Party to challenge them and explain to them that there is a different way of going about things. And actually, it's about bringing our communities together, not separating them, dividing them. And my fear is in the future, that's what the Conservative government will try to do. It will try to bed in and divide communities using awful kinds of negative English nationalism to try and divide people apart. We don't want to see that. And the Labour Party must be a force for good in this country.